Hey, what's up, team? I hope everyone's doing well. If you can't tell, I'm still sick, so sorry for the froggy voice. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Mixmaster and also our guy over here, Scrapper. And they are from the gift set, the G2 Giant Legion Devastator gift set from Mecha Invasion. And considering our familiarity with these figures, I'm just going to go through the transformation process. And perhaps I can also entertain you and regale you with, well, regale is a strong word, but perhaps entertain you with things that I've learned being a YouTube influencer, okay? And so with that out of the way, let's get into the video. And if this is the first time that you are tuning into the channel, well, hello, my name is BOTBENDER3 and I originally started this channel as a place for MOCs and fan modes, but over time, it started evolving into third-party and first-party toy reviews, and I would say predominantly that is what I do as of late. But yeah, originally, early on in my YouTube journey, I was known as a builder, a bot bender, someone who dabbled in the dark arts of build formers and parts forming customizations. But by the way, if you know me, you know that my ADHD is going to get the best of me, so I will constantly interrupt myself as I tell these stories, so just kind of bear with me. And by the way, dude, isn't this guy beautiful? Isn't he just absolutely gorgeous? I love the fearless take that they've done, that they've decided to make Mixmaster an ARM. No one has ever given our guy that type of love and treatment, and so I'm very happy with everything that I've experienced from Mecha Invasion. Their Devastator is absolutely lovely. You can check out the green one, the full reviews. I have them up on the channel, and you can find the links in the description. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here, right? So going back to the whole YouTube journey, influencer and stuff like that. One, before you do any of this, make sure that you're willing to do it for the love of the game, right? If you think about like basketball players and things like that, or any athlete, before they were anybody in the space, they did it for the love of the game. They did it for the passion. It's because they enjoy doing it. And why that's important is because when you're not getting the results that you want, the views aren't hitting or whatever, something's not going right, it's going to be that passion that drives you to make that next piece of content. And if you want to be a success in this particular space, I'll just tell you right now, I'll cut to the chase. You just need to be able to make content that people want to consume and prepare it in a way they want to consume it. And so there's a lot of similarities to cooking. If people like chicken, it's important that you identify that. And two, if they like eating it in chicken nuggets, that's their favorite form of consuming, and they'll eat the most of that, then that's how you should prepare it. And that's only if you're strictly after success, because it's not easy finding that sweet spot, that sweet space. And if you're lucky, these three things will be satisfied. One, the things that people want to eat and the way they want it prepared will be something that you enjoy doing. If you can hit all of those three things, man, you are going to have a great time. But figuring those things out is a challenge unto itself, you know. It takes a lot of iteration. It takes a lot of effort, time. By the way, dude, isn't this magnificent, the way the foot transforms? And it's not the flat nose cab. It's the one with the long nose over here. Just the way that they've engineered this, the simplicity, but the sophistication behind this to achieve so much in a simplistic form of engineering like this actually takes a lot. They make it look easy and simple because they are so intelligent. And so absolutely an astonishment at just like the artistry and the creativity and the everything behind this this set. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, if you can make the things that you want, and those are the things that people want to consume, and it's made in the way that they want to consume it. And by the way, look at this. The legs will actually, these will shift inward. How fun is that, right? How fun is that? You'll have a good time. So, but again, just interrupting myself. In order to figure that out, you will need to iterate. You will need to iterate. You will need to figure things out on your own. And sometimes you can follow the path that the greats that were ahead of you have kind of set forth. And for some reason, I can't get this to compress. I think I needed a knee joint. There you go. Now that's sitting flush. There you go. And there's a little tab in here that will lock into place. Like that. Nice, huh? Look how clean that looks, dude. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The only thing that they could potentially make better is put some maybe silver, what do you call them? Rims? Hubcaps or something on. Excuse me. That's the only thing that I see that could have been improved. And these swing out over here and they'll just plug in, right? But yeah, you need to iterate. You need to follow this cycle called BML, build, measure, and learn. The building process consists of you creating content, and either you're just whipping it up based on a whim because you just wanted to have fun, or you're making something based on some information you know. You got to start with building something. After you've built it, and let's talk content, and you put that content out there and it starts performing, you need to measure. You need to see how well it's doing in its native environment. And then from there, you need to do an analysis and understand. You need to learn. You need to see why it succeeded. You need to understand why it failed. And you try to figure that out as best as possible. And then you take that learned component and then you apply it to the next thing that you build. So following this cycle of building, measuring, and learning, it's an iterative process of growth and improvement. And over time, there will be no denying you in terms of you creating like much improved content. And that's kind of what it is like in a nutshell, right? But of course, it's more than just that. I'm going to set mix. Oh, you know what? I forgot the ARM mode. I'll show you that right now. But it's more than just that, you know. I mean, that's obviously a very simplified take on it. You know, you need to learn like editing skills too, right? You need to figure out lighting. You need to figure out how to get toys. There's all these other elements involved. And a topic about sponsors. Well, a lot of people ask about that, and I probably will discuss that in another piece, but that won't be today. Maybe in the next Mecha Invasion video, because I am going to do 3 of them to cover all 6 members of Giant Legion. But yeah, you got to figure out a lot of things, dude. Not only do you need to create the content as part of creating it in a way that people enjoy consuming, and I think I kind of did something wrong. I think this silver bit is supposed to sit, yeah, it's supposed to tab into the arms there. Oh, excuse me. There we go. And then you can tab that in. That's a nice, satisfying feeling. And so the elbow joint is, wait a minute, which fist is this? This is the right hand. It's the right hand. So we're just going to orient the elbow properly. And all of this stuff will spin around. Oh, sorry, wrong way. There you go. That's nice. That's nice. Excuse me. The fingers are done well. Everything is done well. The plastic is very, very high quality. The paint, there's no overspray on this. Their manufacturing and quality assurance is top notch. There's nothing that's off about this. No blemishes that I can find without really, really scrutinizing it. And the way it connects, it's just a sliding joint. It's actually quite secure. And there we go. There we have him in the ARM mode. Very, very beautiful, isn't it? And so now why don't we move on to Scrapper? Yeah, that whole content strategy, right? Like, you also have to ask yourself, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to do? If your goals are like, hey, I want sponsors and I want free toys, well then, you got to take a couple of steps back and you got to be like, well, I got to get my views up. I have to establish a presence for myself. I got to be somebody. Otherwise, they're just not going to give me free stuff. You know what I mean? And so you do need to establish that. And so if free toys is your goal, then just work backwards. You need to get your views up. And then how do you get your views up? Well, it goes back to what I was talking about, right? Build, measure, learn, putting out good content that people want to consume, right? But if your goal is, hey, I just want to have fun. I just want to put content out there. I just like, if we put in cooking examples, I just like cooking. I don't care if no one eats my food. I don't care if anyone comes to my restaurant. I just like cooking, then you, my friend, you have the utmost liberty to do whatever you want. And it's a very beautiful thing because you are not beholden to anyone. You don't necessarily care about the results. You truly, truly, truly are lost in the process of just having fun and making content. And that's a great way to be. It really, really is. But of course, you may not necessarily get the results that you are looking for. And that's just a fact, right? And then the last one is that, well, I want to make money. I want this to be my full-time job. I want to make a living off of this. That is not impossible. That is not impossible. It's actually quite doable, and it is a realistic dream to have. But if you want to have that type of reality, what you need to focus on is retention. People consuming as much of your food as possible, because there's a very important metric on YouTube in terms of the creators that YouTube pushes, and that is how much overall time someone spends on this person's channel. Like for instance, my long form videos, I don't get a ton of views, and so let's say the average minutes per person on my video is like a minute or two. But if you think of all the shorts that people consume over time, that number by volume goes up. And because of that, YouTube will promote me and they'll push me because they're like, hey, when people go to this restaurant, they consume a lot and they hang out there, meaning metaphorically, they spend a lot of time on YouTube. And that's what YouTube wants, because YouTube wants to serve ads to people. It's really an ad game for them, right? Making money and stuff. And also, I'm still operating with partial visibility, and so if you see me kind of flubbing on stuff like this and I can't plug it in properly, please understand. Yeah, I'm falling apart, dude. I'm an old man, and it's catching up to me right now. I may not seem like an old man. I may not talk like an old man, but trust me, I'm an old man. Old man who just loves playing with toys. But yeah. Like this. If I had my vision properly, that would not be hindering me. But let's see. Is it like that? Yeah, I think it's just like that. That's cool, man. That's cool. And those plug in to the side of the legs. And this we'll just put down in a second. But yeah, if you're trying to make money from this, right? If you're like, hey, I want this to be my full-time job, there's a couple of things you need to satisfy. One, you need to make content that people will consume and watch for a long time. Retention is going to be big. And dude, this part always messes me up. And I think, and you know, when I do these reviews, I actually do a dry run off camera. But right now, it's not working out. Oh, okay. There we go. Excuse me. But so in order to get people to watch your videos for a long time, one, you need a lot of editing. You need a lot of good shots, or you need to be able to tell a compelling story. You need some reason to keep the user watching. And it's harder than ever before, because in this day of short attention spans, and me included, it's hard to keep people's attention. Because, bro, I'll be watching a movie, I'll be on my phone talking to my wife, multitasking, and, you know, so many things just, excuse me, command your attention, you know? And so it's tough. It's tough to get people to watch for long periods of time. And so just go watch anything. Just go watch something that has a lot of views. You'll see that things don't remain on the screen for too long. Couple of seconds, then it'll flip, or there'll be like some type of edit, a zoom in, a pan, or something. It's just to keep you engaged, right? So editing tricks aside and stuff, and by the way, beautiful, right? Simplistic but sophisticated in its alt mode, its engineering and stuff, and such a big fan of these guys, and so clean. Not too many panels going on, and the way the legs just become the shovels. Get the cup out of here. Just absolutely gorgeous. Big fan of what these guys are doing. From here, the arm mode is pretty easy. You actually just kind of take a couple of steps back. It's easy to do. But before I forget, yeah, so you got to also remember, YouTube is Google, right? Google is YouTube. YouTube is Google. They're the same thing. And so when you are an influencer who does product reviews, being first means a lot. Being the first one to fill the demand, it means a lot. So let's say they're going to advertise, I'll just make it up, Studio 86 Megatron, right? The first person who's going to debut that is going to get a crap ton of views, because there's going to be this vacancy created by people typing in Google searches, Studio 86 Megatron, Studio 86, and then Google's just waiting to serve content to these people because they want to serve ads, they want to collect user data. There's a variety of things that they want to do, but in order to do that, they need the user to click. And so whoever is going to be the first individual to provide that content and be first, you're naturally just going to get a ton of views. And so that's why, not throwing shade at anyone, that's why there are some people out there who operate in the dark trade where they get stolen toys, because it allows them to be first. I'm not talking about, I don't want to get into a discussion about morals and ethics and anything like that, but for them, it's totally worth it. Yeah, and they know they're going to get the views. But despite getting the views and debuting something first, your video still has to be decent. It still has to be decent for people to watch for long periods of times. But I can't underscore how important it is being first. Almost more important than editing to some degree. Yeah, I'm serious about that. I'm serious. Being first is very, very, very important when it comes to the realm of products. And that's what we're engaged in right now. And I can't seem to figure out how to do this. As my voice trails off, I think it's just like that. There we go. There we go. That's going to plug in right there. I know the shoulder connection seems a little bit depressed, lowered compared to where the top of the shoulder is, but I promise you when everything combines, it'll look fine. It'll look fine. Yeah. But yeah, that's why people go first. That's why people want to be first. And if you're not going to be first, that's cool, man. That's not to say that you won't have a chance. Just make your videos engaging. Just make your videos super engaging. Be somebody. Have a persona. Have a brand about you. I think one of the great examples is that toy guy, right? Huge fan of that guy. Met that guy in person. Total cool dude in person. And he may not always be first in terms of providing you stuff, but he gets a ton of views. And why? It's because his personality. People like what he stands for. People like his brand. People like the way that he serves up the food. Not only do they like the food, they like the chef, and they like the way the chef prepares the food. And so that's a great spot and a niche that he's kind of carved out for himself. And so hats off to that guy. Hats off to MGO as well. Balt Matrix. All these people who have established themselves in a space. And for me, I'm still trying to carve a space for myself too. But one that I've kind of inadvertently stumbled upon is being a, dare I say, prominent shorts creator. I don't know. It just kind of became like that. I dabbled in shorts when YouTube was really kind of pushing them, and they helped a lot with the channel growth. And I spent a lot of time trying to learn and iterate and grow. And I do think that it shows. I've tried to take different approaches, whether it be showing off engineering and transformation, or whether it be telling an amusing anecdote on top of the story. I've tried different things to learn. I've also learned what not to do in the process as well. Learning what to do, but also learning what not to do is almost as important. They're probably equally important. But at this point, I'm just kind of rambling because I finished the transformation for both of these guys. And so if that's what you're looking to do, hey, Unicron and Primus bless you on your journey and your endeavor. That's not to say, don't do a regular job. There's merit in everything. There's a space for everybody to do everything, but you do need to adopt the mindset of a grind set, and you do need to hustle, and you can't just sit there waiting for things to happen. You have to take the first step, and doing it sooner or later, especially if you're a young cat, and you have the road ahead of you. You got to think, I started this during COVID. I'm well into my 40s at that time. You know what I mean? If I had done this when I was in my 20s, I don't know, perhaps this channel would look very, very different. But nonetheless, that's been a very, very brief, perhaps not even brief, it's almost 20 some minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes. Those are some of the things that I've learned. If you'd like to know more, by all means, drop me a comment, email me or something, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Perhaps in the next video, I will talk about sponsorship. And I've let this video go on for too long. If you've watched to the end, I thank you for your precious donation of time. Clap, 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 and I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye.